What's up, guys? This is Ray J back with another video. And in this, I want to break down what's happening with SPY, Tesla, and the broader markets. Just know that I am not a financial planner, so take nothing I'm saying as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please check out my Moomoo link that's down below or use this QR code to sign up. If you sign up for Moomoo and deposit $100, you're going to get $20 free Nvidia stock. Deposits $2,000 to get $50 worth of Nvidia plus a $100 cash reward. Deposits $10,000 to get $300 worth of Nvidia plus $100 in additional rewards. And then deposit $50,000 to get $1,000 of free Nvidia stock plus a $100 cash reward. You're also going to qualify for an 8.1% APY on invested cash. And this offer is very soon, so use my QR code to get those free Nvidia shares. Anyways, as far as the market's going, Tesla's up a little bit in the pre-market, which is a good sign. And we need to see Tesla break 425 to break out higher. If we lose 402, we could be dipping back down. I personally think that we might try to go a bit higher, but then we might dip back down, just kind of trade sideways, approaching FOMC. And FOMC is going to be the real factor, either launching this up or down, depending on what we end up seeing. Now, there was some news that came out that the NHTSA has come out. They're saying that on Tuesday they opened an investigation into about 174,000 Tesla Model Ys from the 2021 model year over reports that the electronic door handles can be inoperative. This is some important news because they claim that they're receiving lots of reports about people having the inability to open the exterior doors, including after parents exit the vehicle to remove a child or to place a child in the rear seats before starting a trip. Although Tesla's not responded, the NHTSA is saying they're going to evaluate the whole situation. And once again, they could even seek a recall on the vehicles if it believes they pose an unreasonable risk to safety if they end up continuing to see these problems. So that's some important news, at least so far. Once again, hopefully Tesla could fix the issues if they do truly end up being a bigger problem. And we wish the best for everyone that's involved, at least moving forward. The news that Elon Musk had purchased about $1 billion worth of Tesla stock, 2.5 million shares, is still helping the share price to some extent. You can see there's still some hype over here. But the real move that's going to come, in my opinion, now depends on FOMC. Our Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent came out and he said that the 25 basis points interest rate cut is already priced in by the markets, and the market is also priced in 75 basis points between now and the end of the year. And the real question is, are we going to see them once again aim for a more neutral or different stance? We'll see about that. There's currently about a 96% chance we get a 25 basis point cut, and about a 4% chance that we get a 50 basis point cut for now. President Trump is also going to be implementing more tariffs at a lower 15% rate on imports on automotives and auto parts from Japan, as they have a new deal. So that's important news, at least right now. And then when it comes to retail sales, everything was pretty much close to expectations, with retail prices month over month being a little bit above what we previously saw. Now we're still waiting for more data at 9:15 a.m. Once that data comes out, we do expect some more volatility. We'll see what happens with the industrial production, manufacturing production numbers. Does this help the market bounce? Does the market come down? Be very, very careful. We have more data at 9:15 a.m. Besides that, there's nothing else that's too crazy in the news that I haven't really gone over already. But once again, we're going to see what happens with, some changes that could be coming out to earnings. President Trump was talking about that, how he wants to see them report earnings on a semi-annual basis instead of quarterly. And then, although the SEC has not approved that yet, it's something that they're looking into. And we're going to see what happens with FOMC. I think that's the next major factor. Last but not least, we also have this news right here. This is what earnings look like. So with that being said, what do I see for Tesla? When we open this, might try to go a little bit higher and retest the low 420s. But I can't promise you break 425 to break out higher unless we get a nice piece of news. If we don't, we might just return back down to like 410, if not all the way down to like 402. Bounce back up and just continue to trade sideways like this. I just expect some sideways price action. Then FOMC either launches this to the 440s, or we get a massive rug pull right back down. So FOMC is the big factor to watch for. In terms of SPY, we're only up 0.1% in the pre-market. I mentioned yesterday that there might be like a little pop and expect some downside afterwards. I was saying that we might be dipping afterwards. We're not dipping much right now. We're actually kind of flat. So if we get back above 662, there's tough resistance at 662.5 to 662.8. But if we lose 661, we could be dipping back down to 660. I would not be surprised if we see this basically just trade sideways like this and between 660 and 662 for the most part. I just think we chop around, and then FOMC is going to either launch this up or right back down, depending on what happens with FOMC. Keep in mind, we still have a rising wedge on SPY right now, so I expect some sideways price action for now, some chop approaching FOMC, but the downside risk is still there, so you want to be very careful. On the QQQ, if we could hold above 594, we're very bullish, but if we end up losing 592, we're looking for a dip back down to like 590 flat. So for now, I think that we're just kind of like trading sideways between 590 and 593. I just think we trade sideways for now, not really doing much. And then we're going to see what happens after we get FOMC. Do we get some kind of rug pull or not? It all depends. I can't make promises, but there is a rising wedge, so you want to be very careful. So be very mindful of that. Is this going to be a trap or not? We'll see about that. The IWM is kind of flat right here. Because we're above 238.8, we could attempt to go for 240. But if we lose 238 flat, we could be dipping to like 236. So there might be a small bounce here. And then we might consolidate between 238 and 240. Then we'll see if we turn back down as time goes on. ES also has a bearish divergence. We need to get back above 6,700 to be really bullish. If we can't hold above 6,700, I do expect this to kind of chop around and maybe kind of, tip a little bit. But I expect a lot of sideways price action for now on ES and also on NQ. NQ ended up testing 24,650. If we break that, we're going to be going higher. But if we lose 24,550, we're going to be turning back down. Look for some sideways price action. We'll see if we dip a little bit to 24,500. And then I do expect some sideways price action, at least for the time being. Bitcoin has resistance at 116,000, support at 114,500. Might push to 115,500, then dip back down, but I do expect some sideways price action. Once again, Tesla's very flat between supply and demand, at least for now. On Nvda, if we break past 180, we're bullish, but if we can't, we're looking for 176 to 175. I think we might be dipping back down this range before it tries to bounce again, so we're still technically range bound. Apple's looking decent. If we could hold above 238, look for 240. But if it can't hold, if we end up losing essentially 235, we could be dipping back down to 233. So be careful with Apple. We're just range bound, very choppy right now. And I think the chop is going to continue. Palantir is looking pretty good right here. We're kind of flat. If we could hold above 171.5, I think we push for 174. But if 170 flat fails us, we're going to be looking for 167. On AMD, we're looking at a little bit more decent. If we end up losing 159, we're looking for a dump. But I do anticipate that 164 is very possible. We'll see if we turn or not. Coinbase has this resistance right here around this 328 area. If that breaks, we're looking for the 330s. If we can't break this, we could be turning back down to 325. I'm favoring 325, and we'll see if we bounce or not. For Amazon, we could be looking for essentially 235, but if we lose 231, we're going to be turning back down. I'm favoring 235 for a temporary push higher as Amazon's pushing. Meta is holding up well, even though we had a double top leg structure yesterday. There's buyers defending. This morning, it's going to be favoring likely the 770 area. If that breaks, we're looking for 775. Google pushed quite a bit, all the way up to 255, but be careful. Can we hold above 255 to continue? If not, we might be returning to 250. And Microsoft may also return back down to 512, and we'll see if we bounce. What's interesting is the VIX is holding up. Now we're going to see if it continues to break out. There could still be a sign that the market's about to form some kind of top, so be very careful. And we're going to see how things end up going. I do expect some sideways price action. There's also this gap to fill on SPY. So it might dip a little bit. Tesla's kind of flat right now, so I do expect a lot of sideways price action on Tesla for now. May push a bit in the morning, come back down, just trade sideways like this, not really doing much. And then FOMC causes a big move, in my opinion, so keep that in mind. With that being said, I thank you all so much for listening. Have a good rest of your guys' days, and I'll be back very soon with another update. Watch your levels and just be prepared for more volatility on Tesla. There's going to be some chop right now, but there will likely be more volatility once we get after FOMC. So be ready and do what you have to do, guys. Thank you for listening, and peace out.